Welcome, everybody. This is the very first episode of What's Working in E-commerce, where we show what's working for real e-commerce store owners. And today I have Tim O'Brien from The Healthy Place. Tim, tell us about yourself. Tell us about the business and what you sell.
Yeah, Eagan, thanks so much for having me, man. Excited to get to share my story a little bit and what we got going on. So I own a company called The Healthy Place. Becky, my wife, we're co-owners together. We've been running about 10 years. And we sell supplements, vitamins, nutraceuticals, with a mission to impact, empower, and educate customers and people. Life is a gift, and we love to minimize suffering, where we can and increase quality of life. And so we have a website called findyourhealthyplace.com and 4 brick and mortar stores in Madison, Wisconsin.
That's awesome. And Tim, we work with you at Caravan Digital, and it's really been a great experience this year. We're going to go over some of the results here today that you've seen, but tell us a little bit about how you kind of got started in brick and mortar and then how you moved to e-commerce and what that's looked like for you and your business.
Yeah, started actually with my mom getting cancer when I was like 4 or 5 years old. So it was really difficult for the family to work through, and much of her recovery after chemotherapy and radiation was natural alternatives, and they really helped her. So that started a passion for her, and she got a job at a nutrition store, a health food store, when we were just really young as kids. So we grew up watching these testimonies unfold where people would get away from their pharmaceutical medications or get off their Vicodin or their handful of Tylenol every day. And that just instilled a bit of a passion in me. So 18, right out of high school, got a job at a GNC store and found out pretty quick I really liked people in general and liked helping people and encouraging people, and developed a passion myself for helping lead people to natural alternatives and helping educate them on the world of pharmaceutical drugs and how drugs will treat a symptom, but can hurt the body, while natural alternatives can treat that same symptom and help the body. So then, that led to Becky and I starting The Healthy Place back in 2010. So we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary, which is exciting.
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you, man. Very, very cool to see the journey. So then, it was maybe 3 years in or so. We're like, okay, we should probably have a website, and didn't really do much for that website for a long time. It wasn't until about 2017, halfway through, that we're like, well, we should probably give this website thing some focus. And so that started this couple-year journey here of trying to build the website and figure out, what web developers do you use and digital agencies, and we should probably start creating more like video content. And then there's something called keywords, and just, and then there's Google ads, Facebook ads. And so then just like a puzzle, just starting to put those pieces together. And that's how we really got focused in the website space. And now for me, my passion and fulfillment comes in helping people. And so when I help more people, I get more excited. And man, seeing the world of digital, my mind has just been blown. I love our community here in Madison, Wisconsin. That'll never change. And I love helping even more people in the whole world. So that's the storyline of how it went from brick and mortar to website, and now both.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we just started working with you this year. I know it's been very exciting seeing your growth. Is there something you can share about that, of, why you brought on a digital agency, why you brought on a partner, and then also just kind of the results you've seen in working with us?
Yeah, goodness. You'll know the analytics maybe better than I do off the top of my head, but we have, like I said, been on a journey. We've been with a few different companies that promised wonderful things, and maybe their hearts were in the right place, but they just didn't deliver. And there's a lot of money spent and money wasted, which for any business owner, that's like a stressful, thing. And it's even a reason to keep somebody from trying things as well. This could be good, but I don't want to waste my money. And it's a scary thing to do. Well, we knew that we had to find somebody, so we just kept on trying. And so then in March, when we signed with you guys, Caravan Digital, it was the month that we had breakthrough. We've been trying Eagan for years. I would ask my staff, or I would tell them, I'd just say, I'm trying to figure out how to sell a vitamin outside of Madison, Wisconsin. We've educated our community here, what we're about and our mission, but man, outside of our market, people just don't know us from anyone. And we couldn't get that breakthrough. And it was March that we started getting our first, out of state sales. And it's been, up since then, I mean, our numbers keep going, our Google ads, our Facebook ads. I mean, boy, talk about successful. I think I just told you yesterday, it's like 310%. Our website is up in 2020 compared to 2019, 310%. And it's so cool. Yeah. I mean, I give you guys a huge chunk of that credit.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much, Tim. I'm excited to see you grow in e-commerce, and that's why we have you here today. We also have Chris Ostergaard on. He's over in France, actually, and he's on our team. And he's been working on your Klaviyo email marketing and your SEO. And today we want to look at kind of, Chris, what have you been doing with Klaviyo? Do you want to pull it up and share and talk through what's been working for Tim in the Healthy Place?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd say that the first thing we did was to figure out ways to grow the list, grow the, your email audience. You were over on MailChimp when we started working together, a pretty engaged email list. I think somewhere close to 20,000 contacts that we imported over. And so the idea was to keep on growing that email list. And one of the key challenges with the Healthy Place, considering how many different varieties of products they sell, was how can we attract customers, but also feel that they would be then getting relevant information from us. So there we decided to simply attract people by offering them 20% off their next purchase, which is a pretty standard email acquisition strategy. But then we also wanted to know what kind of areas of the health industry they were more interested in. So we decided to offer people the option to select the various products that they would be interested in hearing about and different offers and so on. So we provided this checklist. One of the issues we came across, or at least one of the potential issues we thought of, was that if we offer people too many options, it may decrease the opt-in rate. And actually the opposite was true when we A/B tested this flyout, was that actually the flyout with the interests available got a higher opt-in rate than the other one. So awesome. That was somewhat surprising, because every theory says that, make it as simple as possible, but here we were trying to actually engage with the customers more, and the Healthy Place have a particular audience that enjoys being engaged with. So this was one of the first surprises we came across.
Yeah, that was really cool. And just how you tested that out, because we were just going to go with fewer options, but that's one of the things I appreciated about what you did there, Chris, is you're like, well, let's check it out. And then surprising enough, it was like, dang, let's go with what works.
So we've been running this, this interest pop-up for pretty much since March, since we started. So it's been 9 months. And here you can see how people have opted in. So, there is of course, some overlap from people can select multiple categories when they subscribe. But we've been able to create some really solid email segments that we can then retarget and make sure that we're finding an audience that wants to hear about these products. That was one of the first steps and really important steps with your email strategy.
Chris, can you go back to the pop-up for just a second? I just want to say it again for anybody watching so they can, implement for themselves. So it sounds like we want to get people on the list. So we're giving a 20% off the first order right there. Just to get people interested. We're not just saying sign up for our newsletter. We're incentivizing them in some way, 20% off your purchase. And that's a way to get them on the list. And that's really helped. Is that right?
Yeah.
And Tim, how do you think about that? I know in the time that we've worked together, you've talked about, particularly for out-of-state customers, it's very valuable for you to get a new customer, and then you continue to nurture them and continue to sell to them. The first product is not the last, right?
I think this will speak to many business owners. When you just get that first sale, that's just an opportunity for them to encounter your brand and encounter your passion and your team's passion and your team's knowledge and expertise. And so then, it gives you the chance to wow them. And, for us, it's all about the resale, the repurchase. The lifetime value is huge. That first purchase is great. Thankful for that. Winning them over and actually impacting them, that's where the magic happens in that lifetime value. So if we can just get that first sale, that's where something like this is such magic to me.
Yeah. And I was really blown away, when we first started talking, I said, what sort of return on ad spend you want to see? Because we run obviously Facebook and Google ads for you as well. And I was expecting to hear, I don't know, 2 to 4 to 5x, like a lot of clients say. And you said 0.5 is great. You're okay with a loss leader because you understand the lifetime value of those customers. Is that right?
100%. You know, if we can get 100 customers and we lose money on those first sales, I'm so convinced that our team has the care and knowledge and passion to help that individual with their health needs. And once you help that individual with their health needs, something that's been, you know, bothering them for maybe years, once you help them, now they love you forever. They tell everyone they know about you, and it's a total win-win. So yeah, that 0.5, I remember you going like, really, don't you want more than that? You know? And I was like, should I be? I mean, 0.5 works.
So in this case, when a new customer comes to your website, findyourhealthyplace.com, you're quite happy to give away 20% margin or 20%, you know, off that order on that first order, because once you got them, you've got them. Is that right?
100%. You know, and I've been in business, you know, like I said, 10 years. And you know, in the beginning, I was so guarded over that margin, which is good. You know, a business, a man or woman has to understand their P&L and their net profit and gross profit. But boy, you got to be willing to give something away to gain those first customers, because that's the customer acquisition. You know, it's worth something.
Yeah, that's great. And Chris, in terms of segmenting people based on the product, if you want to pull up the pop-up again, what does that do for you? What was your thinking on that? It sounds like you then set up flows and emails that are relevant messaging for those people if they're interested in men's vitamins, women's vitamins, CBD. It looks like kids' health. You know, what's the thought behind that? Help us understand for people who aren't doing that yet.
Well, the thought behind that is to then is to either run automation or to send out campaigns. So if you have a specific CBD campaign you want to send out, then you don't need to necessarily send it to someone who's selected, you know, women's health or kids' health, for example, because they probably wouldn't be interested in that. And what we want to guarantee when we're sending out emails is that we're actually getting those open rates. It's to guarantee that then we get high deliverability. We don't want to end up being sent directly to a spam folder. And so if we can guarantee that we're going to get around 50% open rate on every campaign we send, then we almost guaranteed all our emails will always arrive, and that we're going to be able to get as much as we can out of our email marketing.
So that's awesome. That's great. Keep driving us here. What else would you like to show us? But I just want to highlight what you said there. That's so important. It takes me back to Seth Godin's book, Permission Marketing. And he says, messages should be what? Expected and anticipated, relevant, and personal. And by doing segmentation like that, when they get an email in their inbox from you guys or from the Healthy Place, it's like, we're going to be talking about things they care about. And so they're going to open it and they're going to take action, right?
Yeah, they know who it's coming from. They're expecting it. And so, Tim, I know it's very easy sometimes to be tempted to just email anybody who's submitted a contact information in store and all that. But sometimes when they're not expecting it, it can actually be have a negative effect on your marketing to them.
Oh yeah, I remember you teaching me, Chris. You know, I was like, hey, you know, I met the neighbor's dog. I'd like to email him. You know, anybody and everybody. More,
I
Chris.
the EU GDPR laws, you know, because I want to make sure everything's sort of done correctly. I know the laws haven't really started yet in the US, and I think California is still dabbling with similar laws, but I think the results speak for themselves, is that we're getting a lot of open rates. I mean, very high open rates. Basically, what happens then is someone signs up through the pop-up. They then get added to the welcome flow. So this one everybody gets, because we've told them that, you know, they're going to be getting a welcome email. It's a relatively straightforward. It's really high level content. It's not very intricate, but we talk about the various aspects of your business, who you are, ways to boost your system. With the coronavirus around, we thought this would be a really good opportunity to talk about that. Stress is also has been pretty high throughout the year with everything that's gone on. So we try to keep it generic enough that everybody can relate to it and then click and then buy as a result.
That's awesome. Can you go back to the beginning of the top of that, Chris?
Yeah. So
first one is getting a 47% open rate, huh?
Yes.
Wow, that's phenomenal. And I see the revenue looks like or 54,500 for the year today here. That's phenomenal. And this just got started. When did we set this up? That was April or something, and it's December now.
Yeah, this would be like mid-March after we
Look at that,
did
12% of people
initial-
place an order too. That's terrific.
Yeah, this is the key. This is the key figure here. It's sort of a 12% conversion rate.
That's pretty cool.
I just want to highlight real quick. So it's not like people get on a newsletter and then once a month they're getting our regular newsletter. It's like they're getting a series of emails. They're in the flow, right? They're a buyer. They're a recent buyer. They're about to be a first-time buyer, and we're sort of teaching them about our brand and things like that. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So with the welcome series, we have 6 to go out within the first sort of 25 days. And then we have, sort of behavior remarketing emails. So we have the abandoned cart, the abandoned browse, we have a customer win back running. And so essentially for that first month, when you're a new customer, you can receive up to, I think was it 15 emails, Tim, or 14 emails over the first 30 days?
Yep. If they're abandoning cart and abandoning the website as well.
Yeah. So the likelihood of someone receiving 14 emails in the first month is pretty slim, but nevertheless, it's a possibility. And we want to make sure that first month they hear about us a lot. And then basically the ball keeps rolling. And then you, Tim, you and your team, you send out, was it monthly blasts?
Yeah. So once a month, we'll send out some sort of store-wide sale.
Yeah.
And that's just to everyone in the email list. And then, and that's been successful as well.
When you've nurtured customers in a way that they know that the emails they're going to be receiving aren't too pushy, then you get really high open rates. If you look at sort of your November newsletter, here you got 56% open rate. We're about around 32. We've got some really, really good open rates. And I'm always so astonished by the number of people who then place orders. It's all it all plays together. We want to make sure that the emails and the people that we acquire through email marketing, we want them to have long lasting relationship with you, to make sure that they buy again and again and again.
Yep. And that I'll never forget it, Eagan, when you were in our office, when we were first talking about signing with you guys and starting a journey together, you had a whiteboard and you just went to town on this whiteboard, and it just made a lot of sense to me. And as my jaw just sort of dropped, I was like, so now, 6-9 months later, watching this orchestra, this symphony of things working together, like Chris said, they all work together, and that's like the coolest thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for saying that, Tim. I really want to highlight as well in Klaviyo then, Chris, I see you can actually see the revenue, what kind of sales we're getting on each of those campaigns, on each of those flows. And that's something that wasn't necessarily set up back when the Healthy Place was on MailChimp.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing that. If it was there, I never saw it. And so then you're just shooting from your hip because you didn't really know what's doing what. And that's helped us a lot, helped guide us.
Yeah. So I kind of describe it as, this is really smart email marketing. I describe this as email marketing 3.0 almost, where the email tool is talking to your, in your case, WooCommerce, your shopping cart, right? And so if people add something to cart and then they don't actually check out, Klaviyo knows it and it can send them an abandoned cart email. And same story on these, it's like, we know when people are placing orders. And so you're kind of tying it all together where your email system's not over here, your website's not over here. We're integrating them together, and that gives us better data, right? Chris, any other stats or anything else you wanted to show before we call it an episode here?
Well, we started in March, and basically the number of emails people have been receiving has just grown exponentially. And
Chris, I just sometimes stare at that graph at night. I just leave the gentle glow of the computer open on my face as I sleep. That's awesome. Look at that sucker.
It's incredible. And also we've got an average open rate of 28%. We've been running the abandoned cart, I think, for about 4 months now. And we're on, $50,000 worth of revenue in just 4 months for 2 emails. And the abandoned browse has also been running for less than that, for about 2 months. it's sort of low hanging fruit, this email marketing, because people out there, they're on your website, they start checkout, they don't complete it. It costs you barely any money to send them an email to remind them of it. And then that's just an extra purchase.
That's awesome. All right. Well, that's a good place to leave it. Thanks for digging in there, Chris, and showing us that. Thank you, Tim, also for joining us.
Absolutely.
Tim, is there anything you want to say to our audience, and where can we find you and what you're doing and buy some of your products?
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, findyourhealthyplace.com. We have a live chat feature. I want to invite the world to utilize that resource. We have wellness consultants that go through some pretty cool, intense training. They have to pass quizzes and tests, and there's hundreds of brands. So it doesn't mean that we're doctors or pharmacists, but we know nutrition and we know natural alternatives and what the natural world is saying about supplements and your health. So that live chat feature on our website is such a great way. It doesn't mean you have to buy anything. We want to educate people. So if you have a question on your health, a condition, or just want to live a better quality of life, more energy, less stress, hit up that live chat feature. We'd love to serve you. If we're open, you'll have another wellness consultant live that you're chatting with there. You can also email me on any questions, whether it's on the business side. I love what Eagan's doing. He's helping businesses across the world. I want to help people too in my life. So tim@findyourhealthyplace.com is an email, whether it's health related or business related. Love to help you guys. And don't forget, man, life is a gift and quality of life is a gift, and it's worth fighting for. And hope you all hope you all find your healthy place. And Eagan and team, thank you for what you guys are doing for me, because you're helping me help more people.
All right. Thanks so much, Tim. Thank you for coming on and sharing this, and Chris as well. So this is the first episode of What's Working in E-commerce. We appreciate you guys sharing. Have a great one.
Bye-bye.
You too, guys.